and thanks for tuning in to Dr. PJ's Storyline. I'm your host, Dr. PJ, and today's episode is all about veteran-owned businesses. Before we get into what I discovered at the Veteran Business Expo, let me share some facts. Did you know that 10% of U.S. businesses are owned by veterans, which generates $41 billion in gross domestic product and employs about 1 million people, with many of them being vets? Veterans in Texas own 17% of small businesses. With over 300,000 veterans and 15 to 20,000 moving to the city yearly, Houston has the second largest veteran population in the U.S. and ranks fifth among the best metropolitan areas for veteran business entrepreneurs. So we dedicate this episode to all of our veterans for their selfless service. Thank you. And we spotlight Houston's first ever Veterans Business Expo, hosted by its newly formed Veterans Chamber of Commerce. However, before the expo, there was a press conference hosted by the city's Military Affairs Office, along with speakers from the local veteran organizations, as well as the mayor.
This expo it's not the start, because what we concluded was the tools are here, the community is here, the businesses are here. There's nothing for us to build or rebuild. The chamber is just pulling all the resources together to make sure that we're aware that Houston is the place to be for business.
Business Expo highlights 70 plus veteran-owned businesses that are here. There's 65,000 plus veterans in our region, business owners. We need to identify you. So come out to the expo. Passionate patriots, come out and support the veteran business owners. Procurement officers.
Many veteran advocates and business owners were present to witness, network, and support the celebration, to bring awareness to veteran business community in Houston's small business ecosystem. It was such a fraternal atmosphere, with everyone connecting and sharing resources. With the press conference over, the Houston Regional Veterans Chamber of Commerce hosted its first ever business expo, complete with veteran vendors, business support organizations, and educational sessions throughout the day. The chamber was established less than 2 years ago to support the growth and development of veteran-owned, veteran service organizations, and patriot businesses through advocacy, collaboration, and business education. Their goal is to help these organizations achieve their own economic success while building a community together, with partnerships from external organizations and veteran businesses countrywide. The expo had numerous veteran businesses from various industries like education, food and beverage, security, insurance, healthcare, engineering, and much more. I stopped by a couple of booths, and yes, I did have my favorites that I want to tell you about. One was from Oklahoma, serving up coffee and tea. He took some time to tell us about the business. So turn up your volume, because the background gets a little bit noisy, and I want you to hear everything that he has to share.
All right, so we are a veteran-owned company. Dark roast or medium roast? Dark roast. We were founded in November of 18. We're based in Oklahoma City. We are the only veteran-owned coffee company in the United States that has veterans as a primary sales force. We are considered like a franchise model, if you will. We're not multi-level marketing, we're direct to consumer. All of our coffee comes to us from Oklahoma City. We have a variety of flavors that come from Brazil, Guatemala, Sumatra, Ethiopia, Colombia. Everything you see here is freshly roasted within the last 30 days, so super fresh and clean coffee. Our coffee is rated in the top 20% of coffees available. We are a specialty coffee company. And again, like I said, only veterans can sell our coffee to the public. This way we can control the mission as well as the message of helping veterans transition from the military back to civilian life.
I thought it was so cool how Scars and Stripes was structured to help veterans pursue entrepreneurship in small franchising. Well, my interviews weren't over just yet. I ran into a fellow author, Frank Zakari, who not only wrote multiple best-selling self-help books, but also has a marketing business to help veterans and civilians promote their book projects. He took some time and talked to us about his books and gave some sage advice. Let's take a listen to his story of becoming an author.
You have a series of books. Tell us, what do your books talk about?
The series is called Business Secrets. And the whole idea was 35 years of being a corporate executive and a business owner. And the publisher contacted me and said, just tell your story. So the first thing was business secrets for walking on water, because what sinks most organizations is not what you know. It's what you don't know. It's what you didn't expect, what you didn't plan for. That's what takes out people. And then most business owners surround themselves with clones. Somebody went to the same school, college professor, frat brother, whatever. Okay, so if you run into a situation that's new to you, it's certainly new to them. They don't know what's going on. So we try to explain, surround yourself with people who've been where you want to go. Because they can say, maybe you shouldn't do that. Let's think about doing
Not
this.
only did he share his story about how he got started, Frank goes on to tell us about his best-selling books.
The first one, which gives you 22 different things to be watching for. And once that one came out and made bestseller, then we got feedback and people said, I do okay in business, but my personal life is not quite so good. So we did the one about landmines, business secrets for avoiding relationship landmines, which addresses both your professional life, how to avoid landmines in the workplace, and your personal life, how to avoid the landmines there. For example, saying what you mean to your spouse and to your family. Don't assume they understand what it is you're saying.
And that's really good because people don't really understand that whether it's business or romantic, the relationship is what we have to foster and you have to nurture. And so it's good that you have these books. You start them off, take them in the middle. You're going to tell us what the last.
And the last one is, you said, I got a handle on these two, but I get stuck. I'm stuck. Everybody gets stuck. Getting stuck is inevitable.
Yes.
Staying stuck is a choice.
Say that one more time.
Getting stuck is inevitable, but staying stuck is a choice. So the third book is, here's places where a lot of people get stuck. Now, number one, how do I avoid getting stuck? And if I do fall into that, what should I be thinking about to get out of it? How do I get out of the quagmire, out of the quicksand, and that type of thing? And one of the topics which I loved a lot was people would say, the reason I get stuck in a relationship that's not so good, personal relationship, is because I don't want to be alone. So we sat down and went into this and talked to some counselors, and they said, there's alone and there's loneliness.
Big difference.
Big difference.
Big difference. 'Cause you can be with somebody and still be lonely.
Exactly.
Yep.
And so one of the things they came up with was the loneliness is the emotion. And it's usually emotion of something that's you had and is gone, or something you want and don't have. Right? Being alone is often a choice.
Right.
It's I choose solitude.
So definitely we want to make sure that we support Frank. I want to hold up your book so everybody see. This is 1, 2, and 3. And where can they find your books at?
You can buy them on Amazon. You can go to my website, which is frankzakari.com, just my name, and you can get them for less on my website, and we'll sign them for you.
In addition to that, what I really love doing is capturing the stories. So Frank is a veteran. So tell me what else, as you can tell by how he was describing what he was doing in the book, that he's a coach. He gives great advice. So what do you do for veterans? We're here at the Veterans Expo, and we're here to help veterans. And we've been showing that the folks here are not just, all the different businesses are very, very diverse. And so you bring a different aspect to it. So what do you do as far as your business on behalf of veterans? How do you help them, and what was your story?
We have a couple ways we help the veterans. One is the fourth book in the series is going to be Business Secrets from the Battlefield to the Boardroom. And this is where we're asking for veterans to write a chapter in the book. And the veteran becomes a published author, because the book is published. If you hit bestseller, they're not a best-selling author. That gives them tremendous credibility in their business. So what is it they're trying to do? They do consulting, whatever it is. They've got, look, I wrote a book, I'm a bestseller, I know what I'm doing.
That's one thing I wish that I could bottle up from this expo was a sense of community that these vendors based their business model on, being able to be strategic in helping other veterans. Frank was such a great sport and he was full of knowledge. We closed out our interview with him sharing why he traveled from San Diego to be at the expo and how his services can help everyone.
What brought you out here to the Veterans Expo?
It's because they've committed to me by paying for 15 authors to be in the door. So we came from San Diego to be here to support them. And that's what veterans do. Veterans support veterans. And this is available to anybody who wants to be an author. And the magic here is contact us before you release the book.
Not after, folks. Before.
We'll put together for you a pre-launch, a launch, and a post-launch campaign. Because you have to build momentum. Because you write a book, people aren't going to run out and buy it.
Right. I know person.
We both did it. So it's priming the pump. Let's get the word out there. We work together. We build a relationship, and then you move forward from there. What else do you want to do? Do you want to do consulting? Do you want to do business? Do you want to do speaking engagements?
Right.
What do you want to do? That all becomes part of it.
Thanks again to Scars and Stripes and Frank Sakari for traveling to Houston to support veterans and veteran businesses and to share their stories with us. Well, as you can see, the expo was a full day. And what better way to close out this episode than to take you by my last favorite booth of the event. Check this one out.
So I'm getting ready to get my massage here at the Veterans Business Expo. Check it out.
Well, that's it, folks. To find out about veterans